The little fluffy, the little fluffy bubble, a little fluffy bubble. Whoa, 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 too loud. Little fluffy bubble dog. Yeah. Got my best night stuff for Singular Rush Beer. Damn nice. Oh, that's right. There you go. There you go. We'll have that one. I don't have this head. Fuck. Man, I am pooped. That is for sure. I still feel a little pooped. It's all the fucking walk around I was doing from Saturday and shit. I mean, my leg's still feeling it. And with Thursday coming up too, if that concert, I mean, I'm gonna be moshing out to that shit, and that's coming up here soon. Oh god, I'm gonna be sore as fuck, like for a week plus. Oh, I just realized that. I'm just not gonna like do fucking anything Wednesday. I'm just gonna like sit there and lay back and just chill that entire day. Let my body rest so then I can not be so sore Thursday. Your first concert is Thursday, I'm hell working. Well, first concert of the year, right? I'm pretty sure. I don't think I've seen concerts yet this year. No, yeah, no, it's first concerts I'm going to this year. Yeah, it's Glory Hammer and Ailstorm. I'm going to be seeing them. And then it's Furlandia. And then after I go to the furry convention, it's going to be Creator with Death Angel and Sepultura. Which I have, I haven't listened to that much Sepultura, though from what I have heard, I do like Sepultura, so, I mean, it's going to be first time I'm going to see Sepultura live, so that'll be fucking dope. I've seen Death Angel once, and they're fucking metal as fuck, and they, when it comes to playing live, they just rock out a fucking venue. Creator I haven't seen live, though, so that's going to be an epic show. So, honestly, silver lining with my little hubris that happened, on Saturday. I mean, it ain't all bad. And considering I have the passport, I mean, for the 21 and up show, at least, I ain't gonna have to worry about that. Man, thank goodness I decided to internationally travel back in 2019 or 2018 or whenever that was. Having an up-to-date passport really significantly helps. Find someone for absolute no reason. You see some guy texting on his phone and think, I can knock this punk bitch out. Sometimes. I get in that mood every now and then with some people. And every now and then I kind of feel that way when I just see somebody as I'm, like, walking down the street or I'm just observing people. I'll just see, someone, in observation, I'll be like, you're a fucking idiot, and you probably deserve to just, And then I feel it, yeah. Make this daddy envy. Yeah, that is true. And, I need to go to the bank to make sure I have another card along the way and stuff, just to make sure. I'm gonna do that. Actually, that's something I'm gonna do tomorrow. Like, I'll at least, just, like, take it easy and either have my roommate, or my dad just drive me down to the bank real quick and just be like, hey, just let him know, be like, my other card is, lost, I need to shut down, I need to get another one. And besides, it was already breaking, a little bit in the center of it. It was starting to get to a point where it was all bendy and weird, because it was accidentally, I had a door accidentally closed on it once. It's still usable, obviously, well, it would be, but... like, eventually, over time, it would have just broken down and not work anymore. So, I mean, I guess silver lining is I needed to start replacing some things anyway, but that it had to be like this. I do know, with the wallet that I had, I know the, store that I bought it from. It's an Etsy store. That's like a leatherwork store. And I'm pretty sure there's still a shop online. and you know, on their website. So if I could go to Etsy and find their find like the model or like the make of the wallet that I got, I can at least order another one, so at least that won't all be lost. But it's just like the process, all the other bullshit having to get your stuff back, basically, slowly but surely. And I have to order some pins to run my last hat, and get that hat again, and get, you know, a new ID as well. So which is gonna suck because now I don't have my, you know, OG ID. I was kind of hoping to keep it. I guess not. DMV downing motivation Vincent vindictively. Yep. Pretty much how it feels with DMV. There's only like one DMV that I know of around here that's actually not the worst. It's mostly just because the workers there don't give that much of a shit. Oh, shit, what's this? Oh, I've seen this. Wait, hold on.
Take one step on that rope and I'll cut it.
So, you were saying there? You were saying, Bugs? You should have just cut the rope right then and there, buddy. No escape, and it's too late now. I like how the first comment is simply, dude moved a tectonic plate. And he pretty much did. Just straight up moved an entire goddamn tectonic plate, and yeah. Nothing you can do about it, basically. You're just like, damn. I also keep getting recommended Speed Racer memes every now and then. The Speed Racer taken out of context. Which, it makes sense because, all things considered, like, Speed Racer looks like a fucking sociopath. Here, I'm gonna pull up Reddit so I can kind of check out some shit in here. Find some stuff devil into here. Close some stuff for the tube as well. But Reddit first. What the flash flood warning and heat advisory for Portland? What's this, seriously? It's flash. Well, I guess it went from warning to a watch. Oh my lord. Is it just because of all the thunderdomes going on? I love it. Bring on the thunder. That's what I want. Bring on the thunder. Bring on the thunder. I love it. It looked like there was going to be some thunder earlier today, but there wasn't really too much, though. I don't even think there was any thunder as far as I was, you know, aware. Which lame. Boo. Patriot struggling with the difference between left and right in their leaked training video. Oh my god, he's not even in sync. Dude, like, none of these dudes are in sync. They're not in, oh my god, these fucking idiots. What is this, Florida? Dude, they don't even know how to fucking, like, stay on beat or anything. Like, what is that? That's pathetic. Dude, me as a marching band kid could do a far better fucking jump, like, better fucking shit than that. It's not hard. It really ain't. It's just like, here's how you can easily keep yourself in time. like, for every, like, 2 and 4, that will be your right foot. Every 1 and 3, that's your left. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Like, it's not hard. Like, oh my god, fucking dingbats. Fucking morons. It shows how, like, incompetent they really are. If they can't even, like, stay in march in uniform like that, and they look like a bunch of little twigs. I remember when I used to look like a major little pipsqueak twig. Those are over northeast, it's off from the park. So scattered thunder here and there. And 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. And 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. I mean, because it really should not be fucking hard to, like, keep yourself in time. I mean, I've seen a different shit of their leaked videos, and, like, they really don't, like, know how to, like, properly train themselves, really. And this is coming from a, like, you know, organization and different groups and paramilitary, like, fascist wings of, you know, the GOP base that have, like, veterans and cops and shit in their ranks, right? And they're trying to train these fucking, like, basically, like, the equivalent of just, like, for all intents and purposes, like, child soldiers and, like, fucking disenfranchised white kids and white young adults. And can't even, like, you know, keep them in march to save their fucking life. Or to hold the proper formation or anything. And just me being a marching band kid would be able to just do any of that shit easy. I mean, I'm rusty on that shit, but fuck, dude. It wouldn't take that hard for me to, you know, to get back into that. In fact, I could easily do it now. Like, I would know how to set myself up to kind of, like, you know, set yourself in rest position when it comes to, like, you know, standing in attendance. And when it comes to, like, keeping beat and everything, I know how to do it. Like, it's fucking memory. Like, that shit's, like, you know, like, back of my hand memory type of shit. Like, there's even a way to kind of make sure you help set your back line. And I can even, I mean, I can even demonstrate, it's not even that hard, where you basically just, like, you essentially let yourself totally relax. You just, like, let yourself bend all the way down to a point where you're, like, almost trying to touch your feet, essentially. And then you just, like, you know, from the bottom all the way to the top, just slowly align yourself up. So you align your feet 45 degrees, you kind of, you know, get, you know, ankles lined up, and then you slowly line the knees. You don't lock them, but you line them up. Then you line your legs up, you know, and your hips towards, you know, the spine. And then basically, like, you know, up the spinal cord, you know, like, one by one, just slowly lift yourself up. Don't jump. Don't be like, and then onk. You have to, like, let it curl all the way, you know, like, casually and shit. And then you go from your head, and then you roll your shoulders back, and then you're, like, set up to attendance and shit. I mean, it really ain't that hard, you know, to do these type of, like, exercises. I, as a band kid in high school, can do it. It's like, and what, am I supposed to expect these paramilitary dip fucks, you know, to do it? Like, give me a break, bro. What a bunch of sad sopping bitches. That's why I'm not exactly that fucking fearful of them. I mean, it's just, it's like because they try to, like, flex with these crazy little formations and their little, like, hootenannies in the fucking forest or whatever the fuck they do and shit. But whenever, like, they try to leak out their, you know, little training videos, it's just so stupid. I've seen more competent videos from, like, North Korean propaganda training videos, frankly. Maybe I'm being, okay, I might be just a tad hyperbolic. It's at least just as believable. Train him wrong on purpose? Maybe. I mean, I suppose I want to put it past. But I feel like if you're the one to, like, you know, be in the upper ranks. I'm sure there's, you know, probably like certain criteria or certain things you would have to do. I mean, I have no idea how the process would work with their fucking weird ass antics. Either way, yeah. They evidently don't know exactly, you know, what they're totally doing. What many little things are going on I read too. What are little things happening? Yeah, speaking of which, was a little popo. What's up, dude? What's up? Sent a bird video? Oh, you sent a bird video? Oh, yeah, you did. There is indeed a little bird video. What is he else? He throw? What's he throwing? What's his bird throwing? This is chucking shit. It's like, fuck that shit. Oh no! Uh-oh. Well, at least that time at least, you know, the bird was doing a good job. Uh-oh. Oh no. Uh-oh. At least they're closed. Ooh, good catch. This bird is a fucking anarchist, dude. What a terrorist. Oh my lord. Dude, what a terrorist, dude. What the fuck? What a shitbag little bird. What the hell? Damn, dude. The bird's a little terrorist. Speaking of it, I need to find mine. Hey, Bobo. Probably outside the backyard. Oh, there he is. Yeah, I knew you were in the backyard somewhere. Of course, you immediately come to a bag of meats. Yes. Yes, boy. You take your meat, and then you just flee. He flees with a slice of meat. Silly pub. Tea, delicious. You little pup. Did you really eat that whole slice already? Jeez, bro. Jeez, bro. Now what? Now what do you want? Now he's just staring at me. Oh my god, dude, this little pup is a freak. Why do you stare at me thinking I am going to give you all the food and all the treats? You've had food. You've had your treats. You can wait a little bit. Jeez. Man, little psycho mutt. What a little psycho mutt. Jeez Louise. Anyway, and I know there was at least a little something I wanted to check out here. I was on the tube. It's about this, like, absurd bullshit. I mean, of course, kind of going on with little Florida. Get down, do Florida now. Gonna go down the road now. Gonna see what the craziest state it be. Well, I mean, of course, it's already kind of a shithole. But, figured, you know, like, we kind of get in a little bit of the little gritty details about some of the bullshit but going on of this, like, absurd crackdown on their, like, you know, book ban bullshit. Because, I mean, if you would go figure in Shocker, it's radioactive roads again. Surprisingly, no. Honestly, I'm waiting for, like, some more, like, someone else to react to it just so I can feel like I'm not insane. Because I wish it wasn't the radioactive... Well, I partly wish, but I wish that wasn't true, frankly. But still, I mean, that in itself is crazy. It's like, yep, radioactive roads, book bannings, teachers that aren't even necessarily like, you know, LGBT teachers either. Just sometimes just random ass teachers are just getting fucked with that type of shit. I feel like it should take priority. I mean, it should. I feel like Florida as a state should probably just start taking priorities in itself. I mean, all in all, to be fair. I mean, I feel like there's it's starting to get hard to, like, you know, emphasize what needs priorities these days. Though I would definitely say the radioactive roads should most certainly be on the top of that fucking list. That's for sure. Because, this shit, whack. Though then again, Florida in itself is pretty fucking whack. But, yeah.
Last March, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed the Don't Say Gay bill into law, which banned classroom discussions about sexuality and gender identity for grades K through 3. Now, the problem with the law, aside from it being inherently discriminatory against LGBTQ plus people, is that it was very vaguely written, and the parameters were never actually outlined by the legislature or the governor, which led to outright discriminatory outcomes for counties who were trying to be cautious and not violate the law. For example, officials in Orange County reportedly warned teachers to remove photographs of their same-sex spouses just to be safe, just to make sure that they complied with the law. But the question is, what actually is and isn't appropriate?
I mean, honestly, I find it just kind of absurd, like, in itself that, like, I mean, in a supposed idea where it's like, you know, your, like, basic sense of just, like, being a human being of, like, oh, yeah, here's, like, pictures of you being, you know, in a relationship or whatever the fuck. Like, that just can't be allowed at any, you know, like, at any point. If it happens to, you know, be something that people don't like or might, you know, be, you know, having their feathers ruffled about. Can't have, like, two dudes, you know, having, you know, a little bit of a relationship. That'd be bad.
These weird circumstances, because if you reference a student's mommy and daddy, well, you're technically using gendered words to reference sexuality, because believe it or not, heterosexuals and cisgender people also have sexualities and gender identities. But nobody really knew what was and wasn't illegal, but they had an idea that the goal, obviously, was to censor anything related to LGBTQ plus people. But fast forward to April of this year, and, well, Don't Say Gay was expanded to all K through 12 grades. And this came after DeSantis initially defended the law.
Wasn't it already like that anyway? Well, I mean, honestly, go figure. I mean, I'm not surprised.
Because it was narrow and
like, watch, next they're gonna try to expand it to fucking, like, college level too. Like, it, you know, like, Florida level, like, universities and colleges, you know, that are in Florida or, you know, have property within the state of Florida or whatever the fuck.
Oh, let's watch.
Advanced classroom instruction on sexual identity and gender orientation.
For who? For grades pre-K through 3. So 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds, and the idea that you wouldn't be honest about that and tell people what it actually says, it's why people don't trust people like you, because you peddle false narratives.
Give a fast just an inch.
I mean, like, he just literally lied. It's like, oh, well, that's why people don't trust people like you. It's like, you literally lied about it. And you're not even a good one at that, honestly. It's like, you can't even be, like, a good liar. It's like, for how, oh yeah, for K for 3. Yeah, that's how it was. I think that's how it was initially, but now it ain't anymore. So you're not even lying properly with this.
And they will take a mile. But now, the Don't Say Gay law has been expanded by Florida's Board of Education, and the procedural notice period required for regulatory changes like this is seemingly over, since a 5th grade teacher is now under investigation by the Florida Department of Education, all because she showed her students a Disney movie. Yeah, so as Tallahassee reports, at a Hernando County School Board meeting Tuesday, 5th grade teacher Jenna Barbie alleges school board member Shannon Rodriguez reported her to the Department of Education for showing her students Disney's 2022 movie, Strange World. It's the first Disney movie with an out gay character. Hernando County School District confirmed a 5th grade teacher is being investigated for showing Strange World, and that a parent complained to the principal about the movie not being appropriate for students. Rodriguez, who was elected to the school board last...
I mean, I'm just going to assume right off the bat, considering that it's just like a Disney movie and an anime movie, it most certainly is okay for kids.
Was endorsed by conservative parents' rights group Moms for Liberty. In her short...
Moms for Liberty. Anyway, so we're for, like, you know, destroying anything that is about liberty, but yeah, we're Moms for Liberty.
She has argued that there is smut and porn on schools' library shelves, and has asked for books to be removed, according to Suncoast News. Yeah, she sounds like a very sane and reasonable school board member who should definitely be in that position. Now, I've never heard of this movie, but I looked it up, watched the trailer for it, and it looks like every other Disney cartoon or DreamWorks cartoon. There's nothing outwardly gay about it. It's about a bunch of cartoon characters who take a spaceship to explore an alien planet. But
Well, guess what? Because there happens to be a little bit of a queer somewhere in there, that means that it is nothing but a gay agenda. It has a queer in there, means it's nothing but a agenda, bro. That's what it means. Not to go on tangent, but can Disney and Pixar fucking slow down? I feel like whenever I blink this new trailer for Alfred Jalton Q with feelings. I mean, I don't blame you, dude. Like, they're always pumping out so much shit when it comes to anime films, especially like Pixar, that I do kind of get sick of it. Like, it is pretty ridiculous. Hopefully the writer's strike might, postpone some of that, for a little bit. But, but either way, though, it's just like, I mean, honestly, my issue with a lot of these anime movies is that there's, like, so fucking many of them that, one, it's oversaturated, two, a lot of them probably aren't really necessarily that great in the first place, and three, I mean, there's nothing provocative about them. They're just basically, like, children movie cash grabs. That's all they really are. There ain't really nothing super special inherently. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say other than that. I mean, at least when it comes to the films in themselves, without necessarily knowing about them, because I don't think it's an issue. I mean, these movies aren't a problem. Like, I mean, it's when it comes to entertainment, like, the issue ain't like the movies in themselves or the entertainment in itself. It's like, the entertainment industry that, exploits, these type of things. It's not, like when it comes to, like, commentary, it comes to, like, certain themes or a franchise, when it comes to, like, when it comes to, like, a certain type of media, like, for Star Wars, for example. So it's just like, I mean, for me, that's my critique when it comes to, entertainment and media. It's not like, is there a queer in there or not? Because, I mean, who cares? Like, fuck, how's that a problem? Like, I don't care, as long as the characters, like, developed, in a way that is good and, and likable, or, I guess, in a way dislikable, depending on how their character is, depending on, like, how that character is supposed to be portrayed in that piece of entertainment, I'm gonna like, the overall character, and shit. Or, I guess, like to dislike, in a sense. What I mean by the whole, like to hate or like to dislike a character, I mean, think about, like, Red Dead Redemption 2's Michael Bell. Like, Michael Bell's a character, phenomenal, but it's phenomenal. He's a phenomenal character because he's so hateable, so it's just like that. I mean, that's kind of what I mean a little bit with that. And so it's just like, I mean, if, it's basically, if character development for a character is done good, whether they're gay or not, trans or not, I don't give a shit. Like, as long as it's done good, I don't care. Just do the character justice.
Apparently one of the characters, he references a crush that he has on a male character. Well, that apparently makes it some sort of LGBTQ plus pride piece.
Is that really all that's mentioned that's gay, supposedly, in the movie? Is that, one of the outed gay characters talks about one of his crushes and, or something? How's that a problem? Why is that a problem?
It's just,
wow.
It's so insane. Like, the mere inclusion of a gay person, that makes it bad for conservatives and possibly illegal in the state of Florida. Now, the reason why the teacher thought that it was okay to play this movie despite the existence of the gay character was because every single one of her students brought in signed permission slips from parents, and they okayed their child watching, their children, I should say, watching PG-rated movies. Now, this is a first-year teacher, and she said that administrators told her that the main approval method for movies, if she wanted to show one, was to get that permission slip signed by every single parent.
I'm pretty sure that's just the norm across the board, because whenever I was in a class and we were, like, gonna watch a movie, that's pretty much just how it was. I mean, like, it's like, oh, hey, we're going to watch a film, and, it's part of our little blah, blah, blah curriculum or whatever. And so I've seen different movies in school and shit before. Like, like, all in all, like, throughout, like, education, not just high school, but middle school and in elementary school, too. From different little educational documentaries to full-on, like, movies. Like, I've seen Interstellar in high school once, which is pretty fun.
And unless there's no objections raised, you can play these movies. There's no Christian court currently to submit approval to, at least yet in Florida, so she thought that it was fine, since not only the parents...
Florida breaks the law of nature. Florida breaks the law of everything that's sane in the universe.
and the permission slips, but they cited no specific objections. So she talked about how there was one parent who wrote on the permission slip that they don't want their child to watch the Buzz Lightyear movie. But that child moved away, right? So she didn't play that movie, by the way. She respected the desires of these parents. Furthermore, the teacher, she thought it was appropriate to play this movie because, as she's going to explain in this TikTok that we're about to watch from her, the movie itself was relevant. She wasn't trying to indoctrinate children into LGBTQ plusism. She played the movie because it was related to the course material. Let's listen.
I mean, shocker. I mean, like, considering that it's like, what, Strange World? And like, what, Exploring the Planet? Like, I'm assuming it had to probably do with like some sort of a geology class or geology segment in the class or some shit. I mean, so I would have to take a guess, which, you know, could be tangential towards, you know, that type of topic. So, I mean, yeah, if it's like, you know, pertaining to a subject, then why not show a film? What's the problem?
I chose this movie because it relates to our curriculum. Our unit at the time was Earth Science and ecosystems and how they interact. Plants, humans, animals.
Okay, so I was actually at least on the right track. Like geography or like geology and stuff, well, like ecosystems and like, you know, and like, and shit. Well, yeah, okay, so I was at least on the right track.
So this movie's perfect. My thought process was, what a better way to showcase all these standards, along with huge lessons of overcoming differences, spreading kindness, communication, and chasing your dreams. A lot.
Oh wow, what insane indoctrination! What evil communist gay propaganda that she is trying to spew! How dare she! A movie about like potentially using that as a way to like, you know, fucking like, you know, educate about like ecosystems and, you know, like, you know, and like how, you know, like, you know, like wildlife works with like, you know, flora, fauna and stuff like that, yada yada. And also maybe have like senses of empowerment and maybe overcoming, you know, like your feelings and this and that and shit. What a horrible communistic gay agenda to be pushed on your children.
Which are in our social emotional Florida best standards as well. Is a character in the movie LGBTQ? Absolutely. Is that why I showed it? No. I have a lot of 5th grade students who have come to me this year, long before showing this movie, talking about how they're part of that community as well. And it's not a big deal to me, so I just said, okay, that's awesome, do you. Not pushing anything, just being accepting. That's what I do. Does that have anything to do with why I showed it? Not in the slightest. The LGBTQ aspect of the movie, they're harmless. It's just a talked about crush, and it's only a couple lines in total scene time of just over 2 minutes. The parents in the movie kiss a lot, and that wasn't even brought up, and that's the issue.
I mean, considering that there's like, I mean, it's, yeah, like, you know, heteronormative, you know, elements of the movie that are prolonged a lot more in, like, you know, in that film in comparison to like a couple seconds worth of lines, you know, of, you know, queer normative, yeah, like, you know, commentary and shit. I mean, the standards are just retarded. I mean, it's basically just like we must have strict, pure, objective, heteronormative, you know, culture and society and education and literally nothing else. Fuck you, weird queers. Yeah. That's basically, it's just what this, you know, the type of a, you know, policy is in a nutshell. Fuck it with arms, because like the idea in their mind is that it's supposed to harm queer kids, obviously, but even people that, you know, tangentially might even be like, you know, supportive in the sense of not, you know, being, you know, queer themselves, because obviously she ain't LGBT. She just happens to, you know, be supportive in the sense like, oh, okay, you know, some kids, you know, in my class happen to be bi, gay, trans, whatever, fuck, whatever. That's them, you know, it's like, you do you, kids. I mean, it's just like, Jesus. I mean, it's just like, I mean, even if you're just like on that type of fucking level, you're like an open target as a teacher. It's just ridiculous. I mean, I've had so many fucking teachers like her, honestly, like growing up and stuff. And they were some of my most favorite fucking teachers. Like, straight up. Like, I mean, if anything, they should be, like, teachers like her should be fucking rewarded, not fucking, like, penalized over this bullshit. Because, like, like I said, I've had so many teachers that, like, I have such fond memories of who have had, like, a very similar mentality to hers when it came to education.
I also want to bring up the fact that none of my students cared or batted an eye. They didn't even know this was a big deal until the board member and the state made it a big deal. They're using it against me, saying they're protecting...
Go figure. So the kids weren't even aware or frankly gave one iota of a fuck up until the school board member, crazy psycho bitch, decided to make it a problem. Shocker.
And it's for their safety, but what is this actually showing them? Their teacher showed a movie to help...
Hey, here, hold on. I've actually been missing some comments here, too. So, Terminator 1 in high school is part of a thought experiment for AI. I forgot what pro AI movie we watched. Just in comparison, maybe Wall-E. That was out in 2012. Oh, no, because that never happened. Of course, though, they cut out the best part of the movie, though. Can't show tits. Oh, yeah, the sex scene. Oh, that's lame. Ironically, they didn't cut out Arnold's dick shadow in the intro. Nudity bad. Dead victims of Holocaust mass graves. American education says showing that is a-okay. We also remember watching The Patriot in high school. Well, I remember watching Roots in middle school. And not censored. Well, I mean, obviously, I mean, like, I don't think there was, like, overt, like, uncensored version, but, like, just the full, rated version of shit. Matter of fact, we had to show stuff like that in them, so what use is showing it usually? I mean, seriously. I mean, honestly, it's like, I feel like as long as there's just, like, some slip, like the whole, like, hey, if you want to show a movie, to your class, here's some printed slips, for the kids that, don't get slips back or whatever the fuck, that approve of it, then have them just, like, outside, doing some other side little thing or something. I don't know. Like, I mean, I'm willing to go for that as a compromise, but even then, it's like, that just seems kind of dumb, because in a lot of ways, I mean, sometimes that type of shit is kind of prevalent to a certain subject. Like, what Venom was saying, it's like Terminator was used as, like, a thought experiment when it came to AI as, like, one element of, of, like, talking about it, using, at least Terminator is one element to the negative portion, and then using another movie, for a positive side of AI. So, I mean, like, all in all, I mean, it's like, goddamn, I mean, it's like, I mean, what's wrong with showing these films? Like, yeah, sometimes it might be a little raunchy, or might have some sex here and there, or might have some vulgarity or some violence and stuff, but I mean, for fuck's sake. I mean, look at America's entertainment. I mean, if you're gonna want to start bitching about that in the school system, I mean, well, actually, don't fucking start bitching about it in everywhere else. We already get enough of that. I was just about to say, start bitching at the rating industries or whatever. I'm like, but no, actually abolish them. The reason why they're there in the first place is because of these motherfuckers, so, never mind. But, man, what a bunch of chuckle fuckers. I was a grandson officer, the guy in literature back in days school for showing us some nasty Holocaust documentaries. Really? Well, if I had to take a guess, it's probably due to the fact that they're probably more gorier in comparison to the more approved documentaries. And honestly, I mean, good on him for, sticking up to his convictions and showing you guys that, though. Even if he kind of got in trouble a little bit. The ones that actually show the mass graves uncensored. Oh. Yeah, I don't remember seeing that in documentaries or anything like that, but, especially in high school, I was getting into bands like Sabaton and shit like that. And of course, there's a lot of different documentaries or little fan-made music videos people have made with, their songs. Like, there's there's different songs by Sabaton that directly talk about the Holocaust, in, like, remembrance, of it and shit. And, and there's at least, like, if I remember, at least, like, a couple. I know there's one about Inmate 4859. There's one just simply about the whole thing itself, just simply called The Final Solution. And there's another one that is more broadly about, like, pretty much like the rise and fall of Nazi Germany, the rise of evil, which is a longer song. And then I know there's like one more, I think. There's at least a couple. But they're like a band that gets into like a lot of, history and shit, especially like World War II and World War I history right now. Because, I mean, honestly, there's a lot of shit to talk about when it comes to history like that. There's, you know, a lot of cool shit, but also a lot of stuff that just doesn't necessarily get mentioned in history books that probably should. And what people look like. Yeah. I mean, stuff like that, you know, is also what I'm talking about. I barely remember an argument he had outside classrooms, and the kids need to see this. They need to see the consequences of hate. But yeah. I mean, yeah. That's what I meant. Like, I didn't really know, like, what he had to said. But especially that just makes me even feel more like, fuck yeah, good on him. Good on him for, you know, standing up to him, you know, on that shit. And the principal's like, this is something better left to parents. Oh, dude, fuck the principal. Oh, what, he get a little butthurt? I mean, give me a break. That's something for maybe the parents to expose them to. It's like, fuck you. It's like, they're already being taught the Holocaust already, so, you know, might as well, you know, teach us some of the extra grittier details. Because, yeah, unfortunately, that's just fucking history, and that is the consequences of fate. Yeah. And I wonder why they're trying to censor shit like that right now. And thus, you know, her teachers, you know, like, you know, him, and also, like her too.
Connect to our curriculum and learn some valuable life lessons. But the minor representations that have nothing to do with the movie are such a big deal that now admin is in their room, pulling their teacher out, calling the students one by one down to the office to interrogate them in the middle of...
Back in 2012. Yeah, so I can only imagine what, you know, what you said was a grandson of a Holocaust survivor? Yeah, grandson, yeah. I can only imagine, like, if he's not teaching now, I imagine, I mean, if he is still, he's probably, you know, hopefully moved somewhere else to where he can at least keep teaching. Not be at risk, you know, losing, you know, his career over stupid bullshit like this. Yeah, if not, hopefully, you know, he's out there trying to help advocate, you know, like in an organization or some shit, because it sounds like he definitely has some real good head on his shoulders. I'm assuming he's probably an older guy, all in all, I'd admit. You know, so I'm sure he can't be doing too much, but...
lessons. And now there is an investigator from the Florida Department of Education coming to pull my students out of class again to investigate them individually. And by the way, they don't even have to have a signed parent permission slip for that. This investigator is allowed to come and pull them out, and a letter got sent home to some of the students, but I doubt a lot of my parents are even going to get it. And if they don't call and object, the interrogator is allowed to just pull them out. Do you know the trauma that is going to cause to some of my students? They are 5th graders.
I mean, like, what the fuck? Shouldn't that in itself be something that there should be some parental slips for, more so than a goddamn fucking movie, by the way? Dude, that is some, like, like, secret school Gestapo shit, dude. Like, what in the fuck? Like, what the hell? Like, shuffling them out one by one, being like, so this movie, what would, you know, what would, like, so what type of queerness was discussed? Like, I don't know, something about ecosystems and stuff? Like, I mean, what the fuck do you think they're gonna do? I mean, holy shit. I mean, it's like, whenever these motherfuckers say it's about quote-unquote helping the kids, like, just, obviously it is a lie, but just truly know that it is. Because, like, this type of shit is, like, this doesn't help kids. Like, this is more likely to add more trauma to children, more so than not. Like, I mean, because if there was never made a big deal over this, outside of maybe, like, 1 or 2 parental slips, you know, said, no, I don't want the kid watching it, so they got, like, you know, the synopsis and, you know, like, watch something else or something, I don't fucking know, and then it was just left at that, then it just would have been left at that, you know, because honestly, every now and then that happened whenever, you know, we had movies that we're watching that might have been a little bit riskier, like PG-13 or some shit or whatever the fuck, then, you know, they'll just send out some parental slips, and then the next class, you know, for the kids that, you know, had the ones that were approved or not, you know, they would just, you know, kind of shuffle them accordingly or whatever the fuck. I mean, it was not that big of a deal. And then class just went on as usual, and then that was it. Nothing, no one cared. Like, because honestly, that's how it really should be at, like, the worst of this situation. And frankly, I don't even really think there should have to be, like, this bullshit about, like, having to send a parental slip over a fucking movie. Because, like, 90% of the chance, like, guaranteed, like, that kid's probably have already seen that movie or is aware of it or their parents own it. So it's just like, I mean, so they have access to it, you know? So it's just like, I mean, there is not that big of a, like, there isn't a big deal over shit like this. I was watching, like, fucking, like, True Lies and Terminator and fucking, like, I'm naming Arnold movies right now, but, you know, I was watching shit like that, fucking, like, Robot Chicken and Family Guy growing up and shit before I started, like, you know, like, getting into school, frankly, for fuck's sake. I mean, it's like, good lord. Should have? I probably not, but, you know, hey, if you happen to be a little up and the parents don't notice, then, hey, you can sneak in a little bit of view time for that type of shit. Sorry, but if parents said a bone pick teacher or a former student had the same motivation, all they have to do is support them for indoctrination, or they could have a younger student say teacher try to groom them. Yeah. Or they could just have a student, you know, get scared and be gaslit into thinking that they were. Like, I mean, when you got these weird fucking, like, Gestapian freaks, you know, investigating these kids one-on-one, like, especially inferring these questions towards them, it kind of means that they're trying to get an implicit answer out of them. And, you know, they're gonna, you know, and sometimes the kid's probably just gonna go along and be like, I guess. You guess? Well, what do you mean that you guess? I mean, was it actually that? You know, they'll try to get an affirmation and be like, yeah. Yeah, because they want the actual affirmation. They're going to always try to squeeze that out. Like, I mean, it's just weird. It's just like some weird fucking bullshit of just, you know, trying to manipulate these fucking kids to an extent. But wait a minute. What's more closer to grooming, though? Like, just educating kids on, like, normalization of just, like, basic different aspects of the human condition, or manipulating them into certain ideas and certain things. What's closer to grooming? It's definitely the first thing. Definitely not the latter. It's the first thing. It's that communist gay bullshit, for sure.
Some of them can barely come up and have a conversation with me and are just getting comfortable with me, and now an investigator is allowed to come and interrogate them? Are you kidding me?
The outrage. I mean, conservatives want you to think that that perfectly pleasant person is a groomer now.
I mean, what, grooming me to get some, like, snickerdoodles and some, like, sweet tea and, like, hang out with her on the back porch and talking about fucking, like, I don't know, like, basket weaving or something on her day off or some shit and tend to her fucking tomato garden? Like, I mean, she literally just kind of looks like, I mean, kind of like a sweet little, you know, suburban mom or something, you know what I mean? Like, kind of a progressive suburban mom or whatever, but not like a wino mom, like, you know, one of the rare good suburban moms. Like, she looks like one of those types. It's like, man, like, she would, like, invite you to have, like, you know, some, like, taco she made up or some shit. You know, she's like, hey, it's taco night over here, guys. You know, want to come over? You know, I just started getting them on the grill, just freshly harvesting tomatoes for my pico de gallo and my salsa and blah, blah, blah. She'd be, like, one of those chicks, dude. Like, she'd have, like, some, like, homebrew stuff going on there. It's like, man, what? She's gonna groom me to invite me over for a feast? Like, or some shit like that? I mean, come on. It's like, I mean, like, hang out, maybe do, like, a little book reading or some shit. Oh, shit, it's a book reading. Oh, she might secretly get all the kids into a drag book reading. Oh, shit. I'm smelling a queer on her now. We're getting closer to the source. Oh my God. I mean, the paranoia on these fucking psychos. I mean, it basically is the equivalent of that, right? Like, it's like, oh yeah, it's something so innocent, like, oh, invite them over, you know, for something so casual, do this and that, and then it's like, oh, then one thing leads to another, then somewhere darker. That's literally, it's just how it is for these fucking people. Like, that's how they portray this type of shit. It's just so absurd and insane. This is like the weird 1970s where you got like the dude in the white van being like, hey, Timmy. It's like you don't got that shit going on that much no more. Especially with the fucking paranoia going on these days. Like, anyone doing that shit is gonna be too scared to get shot by, like, you know, some random pedestrian trying to be the hero or some shit. Like, I doubt anyone's doing that shit anymore.
Because she played a Disney movie that was relevant to the lesson.
I mean, if anything, if you really want to see the diddlers, go find a church or a Boy Scout organization. You're more likely to find one there.
The movie is about exploring a planet, looking at the flora and fauna, and they were learning about...
My imagination always ran wild, especially when I was little, and the interrogator would have paid my guts. What does go in our classroom? There are fights, cooking pizza, gambling, lightsaber duels. Made a whole mistake last night. I read the plot synopsis of Turner Diaries, and goddamn, it's horrible. Yeah, dude, I've read more than just the plot synopsis of that. I've actually read any of it. I've read a couple pages that are online. Dude, that shit, yeah, dude. It's some horrible fucking shit, bro. Just thinking about it now just makes me like, so, because you just reminded me of it. It's like, fuck. Ugh, I just reminded I still need to scrub some of that shit out of my brain. Because, like, fuck. I mean, if you think, you know, like, some of the shit that gets said, you know, from Nazis now is bad, I mean, look at what the shit that they kind of see as a manifesto. Because a lot of them do see that as their manifesto, basically.
Signs and whatnot. Well, she got penalized.
Straps herself a nuclear suicide bomb at the end. What's the Turner Diaries? It's basically, like, it's kind of hard to explain, but the quick general synopsis, like, the very TLDR is that, like, America kind of, like, collapsed into, like, you know, a race war, and the protagonist, who's on the white side, and very anti-Jewish, obviously, basically, well, yeah, you know, like, goes through, you know, the race war, and eventually straps himself to a nuclear suicide bomb, specifically, and, yeah. It's, a racist suicides, fascist martyrdom wet dream, essentially. I mean, that's just, like, the very quick synopsis, and honestly, that doesn't even get into any of the fucking more grittier details. Because there's some real, like, there's some pretty fucking crazy shit. I mean, there's a wiki about it. Like, I mean, if you go on the Wikipedia about it, I'm sure you can find enough information to infer about it.
Being investigated for, and also she wanted to play the movie because she wanted to give the kids a break because they were doing standardized testing. I mean, we shouldn't even have to justify it, right? We shouldn't have to explain why it's okay for a teacher to play a fucking PG-rated Disney movie, especially after the kids had parental permission slip signed.
And also, considering that they're usually having to do standardized curriculum, like, anything that gets outside of a curriculum like that, but can still at least, you know, pertain to the curriculum when it comes to, like, standardized, like, testing or education and shit, like, I mean, that should be seen as, like, a blessing for the kids. Like, yeah, it's sweet, hell yeah. We don't have to do the same standardized bullshit like we're usually doing. Sweet, something that's a break from that. Like, if anything, that should kind of help, like, rejuvenate the brain, you know, when it comes to stuff like that.
Not only is she now being investigated, but every...
yeah, I like having my brain sound count in the double digits. Yeah.
Single student is being pulled out of the classroom and being interrogated, essentially, about the inappropriate content that they were subjected to. This is fucking insane, okay? This is not a healthy learning environment, and it is brazenly discriminatory against LGBTQ plus people, and it's unconstitutional. But this is happening in the state of Florida because Ron DeSantis has dictated that everyone has to abide by his will. He has determined for all parents what is and isn't appropriate for the kids of Florida. He also removed an African American Studies AP course, books have been pulled from shelves, and in true Orwellian fashion, Ron DeSantis has declared that Florida is the freest state in the country.
As we are literally becoming the least free, we are the most free. Oh yeah, and is war, peace, freedom, slavery, and you know, is that what's going on there, buddy? It's pretty much like, you know, like truth is actually false, and you know, false is actually truth.
Yeah, and also war is peace and freedom is slavery, according to Ron DeSantis. Now, I'm going to link you to the full TikTok posted by this teacher. It's too long to watch all of it on this show. It's about 6 minutes long, so I'd highly recommend that you watch it because you can tell just by that 6 minutes
hate is love, and love is hate.
That this teacher is a very wholesome person, and she genuinely cares about her students, and she's motivated by altruism. So the fact that she's now being investigated as if she's some sort of a criminal who's a danger to children is genuinely just insane. Now, she's going to explain here that if she knew that this film would have posed a problem or that a parent would have objected to it, she wouldn't have played the film. And with this conversation that she had with the school board member who turned her in, the school board member, according to her account, seemingly realized that, oh, I didn't actually have to turn her in. I could have just talked to her, and she would have heeded what I had to say and not played the fucking movie. But let's listen to her retell the conversation.
That school board member is currently on a rampage to get rid of every form of representation out of our schools. She even spent days this past week going to all the high schools to get rid of anything that had to do with representation whatsoever.
Oh my lord. So you got this board member who's literally just like going school to school, just like, alright, we're gonna find every little thing that offends me.
And had admin escort her to a teacher's classroom that had a sticker of a black hand and a white hand holding hands, and the white hand had a different color fingernail for every finger. So the school board member called the Department of Education on me for indoctrination before ever coming to our school to talk with me or admin about the situation. When she did come to our school, she came as a school board member, and our principal said, no, you can come as a concerned parent, but then you need to schedule a meeting. So she did. She came, and later that day, and admin was in and out of my room, pulled me out, blah, blah, blah. And we had a meeting, and I understood her perspective that, okay, she really doesn't want this shown at her house. I never saw that perspective before, so I didn't think it was a big deal. But seeing how upset she was, I told her I understand my lesson. That's that. But come to find out, she had already reported me, and there was nothing she can do about it.
So it seemed like the school board member...
So she basically, like, I mean, so essentially she's like, alright, well, I mean, my lesson was what it was, but okay, I'll just, you know, like, just not do that again. But it was literally just a too little too late, because the school board member already fucking, you know, freaked out and already went on the rampage. Because, well, that's what fascists do. They don't give a shit. It's basically the whole shoot first, ask questions later thing. It's like, alright, alright, so, alright, I shot like a bunch of holes into you. Alright, so what seems to be your problem? Oh, well, okay, well, maybe you should have thought about that, bitch. Anyway, so, what about you? It's just like, what, I mean, it's like, what the fuck? Embarrassment to have that nutso as her mom. And she's a school board member, too. Like, fuck me, bro.
Talk to the teacher, and maybe she'd understand. But instead...
Like, that's the reason why when it comes to, like, you know, like, at least in, like, school board elections and shit like that, that actually, in a way, might be more important than, like, national elections and shit, dude. Like, seriously, because you get these fucking psychos that start, you know, trying to call shots.
Assumed that this teacher was a bad person.
I mean, because the thing is, I mean, there's partly a reason why that, you know, this type of struggle happens also in blue states like in Oregon, too, because you get, like, these type of fucking people who try to infiltrate school boards and, like, city councils and shit. I mean, so... It's just like, I mean, it's like, in a lot of ways, I mean, when it comes to that type of local shit, they tend to be, in a way, more important than on the national level just because of things like this. Because this has a lot more of a direct impact towards your life in comparison to whatever the national bullshit will be.
Trying to indoctrinate kids, and turned her in before she even vocalized her objections about the fucking movie. This is unhinged behavior. This is not healthy behavior. This is instability. This is unhinged nonsense. And first of all, fuck this school board member, because this idiot thinks that you can indoctrinate children into a particular sexual identity or gender identity, but that's not the way that it works. We've had this conversation for decades now, and if you don't know, then you're just stupid. It's not a choice. If you don't believe me, test it out for yourself. Try to live as a gender that you don't identify with or sleep with someone of the same sex. And if you don't like it, then you're proving that you can't be indoctrinated into it. It's not like an acquired taste. You are who you are. These things are innate. But the bigger issue also is that there are LGBTQ plus students who are going to feel as if they are inferior to their cis and straight peers because of this law. Because if the mere mention of homosexuality for 2 fucking minutes in a movie triggers an investigation and interrogation of every single student, I mean, imagine how degrading this must feel if you are a gay student. Imagine being a trans student feeling like public enemy number 1 if your identity gets out. Like, what if you tell your friend that you're trans and then you have a fight with your friend and then they basically have your life in their hands? They can turn you in.
Yeah.
It's so sad. This isn't...
I mean, this is basically just like a way to just blackmail people and just like hold people hostage, essentially. Not just, you know, LGBT kids, but also just like anybody, really. Just because if you know, they just happen, you know, to not like you and there may be a suspicion that you are, you know, they could just target you when it comes to shit like that. Wait, what the fuck is this? S'morios? Wait, wait, did they just release these? S'morio cookies? Confirm my humanity. What the? Oh my god, what the fuck? Oh, it's because I was clicking their article. I thought that was just a picture. Are they good though? Are they good though? That's what I wonder. Since I wants to see so video. Wait, what? What are you talking about? The North American Union, and apparently before 2016 in Trump, Canada was actually on board with it, and it was Mexico stalling things. Mexico didn't want us to see sovereignty to the U.S. basically, while Canada was open to it for the GDP potential boost. Huh. But after Trump won, this has dropped immensely. So, well, I mean, I wonder why. I wonder ever since he came into play, that just dropped immediately. I just wonder what that could be like. Right here. Really quick here before I go to the bathroom. You should be right back here. I hear you over there, Papa. What you doing? What you doing, little doggo? Here. Alright. Be right back. Alright, little pup. Oh, man, my leg's still feeling all beat. Damn. What a little goofy boy. Man. Man. Elon Musk censored for Turkey. Well, isn't it because they're going for like some crazy ass elections and some shit right now? What is going on with all that anyway? I'm just not really too surprised that, you know, of course, like, Elon's just like doing censoring for, you know, like a nation just immediately. Well, yeah, Mr. Free Speech Bro is just like doing immediate censorship for any government that asks for it. Wow, shocker. Go figure. What? What is it? Can I help you? You damn little fluff. You little goofy goober. What? I've seen a teacher to debunk over years. Oh, what, like, it's Ancient Aliens? I mean, dude, Ancient Aliens is just, like, so hilariously grifty. Honestly, to me, it's funny. I love how, like, you know, there's like, Bob Larson, the demon exercise pastor. Yep. I love that shit, honestly. I mean, like, cause I mean, it's just, like, wears it so, well, not really super obviously on his sleeve, but it's just so, obviously a bunch of fucking bullshit. What? Damn dog. Fucking goof. I just loved how, like, absurd it was, and just how, like, comically just insane every weird Hockamale theory was, or just, like, the most absurd bullshit. Fuck, dog. What is up with this pup? What is up with you? First season, yeah, like the first season was like the pilot season where it's like, we'll make sure this one's interesting so it gets, like, you know, investors selected, and at least enough of the crazy Wacomania investors got into it, and well, everything was set from there, because all the grifters, you know, basically came in. Oh, fine, hold on. Come here. Up. Wow. It's still going on, seriously? Whoa, hey! 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 No. Shush. No. What the fuck? What the hell, bro? There's no reason for you to be boofing. You goofball. You're a goof. Dude's wild haircut is going to live, so Huntsville is part of some UFO con in a few months. Oh my god. I kind of like that guy, because that dude seems like the most insane. Like, he actually legit kind of seems like the most unhinged one out of all of them. Are you silly dog? Yeah. Well, I need to, like, brush your tail, too. Well, how do I get your tail, too, bro? There you go. You the guy, believer, you gotta have a good masking ability to spell bullshit like that. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's legit, like, honestly, like, crazy enough to believe it. But yeah, I mean, I guess there is an off chance he is probably just that much of a good bullshitter. There we go. Bloop. Little pull up. I know, honestly, there's definitely a couple people on Ancient Aliens that are most certainly grifters and just like masking it. But man, dude, that guy with the crazy hair. I mean, he's been there the longest. I mean, been there the most consecutive. Like, and either he's just dedicated to the grift, or he legit is a true believer. And I just like to think and believe that he probably honestly is. Because I'm pretty sure he's like one of the few that has been there since like the very beginning. Oh man, I just fell off now. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Hey, what are you doing? Don't be snooping into the fucking garbage bin. Ridiculous little poof. Man, what a ridiculous little butt munch. What a ridiculous little butt munch. Yeah, you. Silly boy. Jesus. Jesus. Oh shit. Fucking, Zan's live? See what he's doing. McDonald's does it again, only if nuggets instead of coffee. Wait, so wait, did you watch the Vosh clip out of that? Dude, like, Charlie's video on it is actually a lot more in detailed with it, because he actually went into, like, some of the details of the court case about it, and you're really gonna tell me that, like, out of the 32 nuggets that they bought, one of them just happened to be, like, 200-something degrees, and the rest of them were fine? I mean, it's like, nah, that was on the parent who decided to just, like, not do anything, was being neglectful for 2 whole minutes while their daughter was, you know, in pain and shit. It's like, I mean, come on now. That wasn't on McDonald's. We were talking about that the other night, I think, because I saw that video, and it's like, yeah, nah. Like, the lady just was being neglectful, and honestly, she was the one who was kind of at fault for that. With screwing corporations out of money. I mean, sure. I mean, I ain't gonna necessarily be against that, but, I mean, if we're gonna look at, like, you know, who's at fault for that, I mean, it wasn't McDonald's. I mean, like, it's like, you know, for that, like, sure, you know, I ain't gonna be against that, but, I mean, if we're gonna look at who's liable for the specific case, though, on that one, I mean, it won't her. In my opinion, it was kind of a frivolous case. Though, I mean, I guess because of that principle in mind, sure, I mean, I don't really care about it. Like, whatever, she got a little something from McDonald's out of it, but, I mean, whatever. It's like, if we're going to really see who's at fault, it kind of be on her. Like, she could have actually, you know, like, interfered, you know, before, you know, like, the situation where that chicken nugget was, like, stuck, you know, on her for, like, 2 minutes. Like, they're, like, what? It's like, what, like, I mean, because I'm wondering, like, what situation where is it, like, I mean, where, you know, even from my understanding, they were on, like, the freeway. It's like, what, even if you can't just turn on emergency and go on to the side really quick, you know, and just, like, take off seatbelt and just, like, you know, move their leg around a little bit to get the chicken nugget off, and then, you know, reattach your seatbelt, and then turn emergency lights off, and then keep going. Like, yeah, that might take more time, you know, whatever, but, hey, at least, you know, there ain't gonna be no, like, you know, burn or whatever. So, to me, it's like, I mean, at least in my opinion, it's like, that was on her, not McDonald's. That. Yeah. What's Zan up to? I see Zan's live. What's he doing?
Not like a mermaid like this one is. It was like a mech. It was like some
delving into like Warcraft shit or something? What the fuck?
Like I saw it and it just it felt like it was from another era. You know, it felt weird to hold. It really felt like it was from another era. And this
World of Warcraft Pandora's button. Yeah, I think he is.
Yeah, I upgraded his graphics card. I ended up replacing his graphics card that was something like this with a
Yeah, hold on. Maybe I might get something if I go back far enough.
Subscription. The amount of hurdles standing between the
dude.
Okay, not really.
I forget what the CPU I gave him was, but you know, it could run.
Huh. I have no idea which particular little video or whatever the hell that is about, but it seems interesting. It seems like a wormhole of, like, you know, the early era of the internet. I'm seeing like is guild recruiting. Oh, is that what he's doing? So it's just kind of yeah, it looks like it's delving from, like, some of the early internet days and shit, because some recognizes AOL in there, you know, a little bit, a couple other things. It's like, damn, that kind of brought me back to my, you know, me growing up a little bit. It's like, shit, like that. Like that shit right there. Goofy little ball. It's just so cute when that dog is just wrapped up in a little ball. Just a little kudu. So cute. He's just so adorable. It's a long video. What is this? Superintendent should not be in charge of schools. Ryan Walters. So refused to negotiate with the teachers union because they were a terrorist organization? Oh my god, are we starting to get back into the day where, like, all those damn terrorist fucking trade unionists, like, I mean, are we getting there again too? Like, oh my god, they're starting to interweave that rhetoric into their bullshit too a little bit. I mean, we're about to tell us a bit long-winded. I mean, we'll get into this. We'll check this out. But, so, I mean, I just read the description. That alone already got me hooked. Like, cause, what the fuck? Like, huh? Like, yep, those goddamn fucking unions, they're a bunch of terrorists. Like, that's like some shit that you'd hear, like, the 1890s or some shit. Like, what the fuck? Like, aye, man.
Negotiate with the teachers union. They're a terrorist organization that is content.
This is a guy named Ryan Walters, I believe is his name. Yeah, Ryan Walters. He's an Oklahoma superintendent, and it seems like he's doing everything he can to, like, get a position on Fox News or something, because he's going off the rails, dude. This guy is unhinged from reality. I mean, you think that calling the teachers union a terrorist organization is unhinged from reality? Just wait until you hear some of the other stuff that this guy has been up to lately. So this teachers union thing, we're going to look at this whole video in a second. This is May 1st, 2023. This dude has been on a rampage lately. Listen to this one, mid-April 2023. Check out what he had to say. I believe this is from his superintendent office in Oklahoma.
Today, the virtual charter school board has the opportunity to approve Catholic schools for a new charter school in Oklahoma. This absolutely is the direction that Oklahoma should go.
Okay, let me explain.
There's absolutely direction Oklahoma should go, is establishing more child sexual abuse Catholic school rings, you know, instead of actual public education systems. Yes, 100%. Like, oh my god, he even has, like, the weird fucking, like, southern hick-ass accent. He's just missing the fucking cowboy hat, bro. It's like, I give him mine, but mine has at least some fucking respect to it, unlike, you know, whatever fucking dumb fucking, like, 10-galloner he's gonna be wearing on his fucking chuckle fuck head.
What all of that means if you're not, like, heavily involved in politics or whatever. He's saying that the school board, I think, approved a new charter school.
School board has the opportunity to approve.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's saying. It's like a new private school, basically. But yeah. I know a clip. Yeah, I know what you mean by his long-windedness. I just want to find. Is he really still on about that one? Get there. You're right about his long-windedness.
He's on a roll right now. It gets unhinged from reality.
Oklahomans, we have a clear choice in front of us.
Hold on. Okay, before we even get closer to, like, you know, delving into this, what the fuck? Yeah, it's like a bunch of random books just, like, stacked, not even neatly, you know, on his really weird reflective ass desk. Why is his desk so reflective like it's a fucking mirror? And oh my god, dude, what? This is such a weird setup for an office.
When it comes to our schools, do we want the radical ideology into our classroom that pushes gender theory?
Do you want this radical ideology where it's just like, you know, some books, which I can't even tell what the fuck they are.
Graphic porn in order to perform a social experiment on our kids?
Wow, dude. Okay, this guy's a...
Like, the push porn that is, like, pushing, like, you know, it's like social indoctrination. Oh my god. Like, he's pretty blunt about it, isn't he? Jesus Christ. Like, what a fucking freak.
Attendant, and later talks about how he was a history teacher, or is a history teacher, I don't know.
Oh my god. History, right?
He thinks that teachers are teaching gender theory and exposing kids to, like corn on the cob, like cobs of corn that one would eat. He thinks that they're being exposed to that stuff. This is insane. What is happening right now? I mean, he's obviously lying, right? Nobody who...
No, he's just that insane.
Actually a teacher, or ever
and
was
insecure about sexualities.
A teacher, believes that children are being exposed to this stuff. Like, that's absurd. I mean, I don't understand how anybody who's ever in a classroom would think that kids are being exposed to that. I mean, I've been in a classroom. That stuff was never part of the curriculum. This guy helped set the curriculum, doesn't he?
Because they let Bama to get away with this kind of shit. I mean, yeah, like, I mean, when you try to get to, like, another state that at least hasn't had this type of impact yet, and then you get, you know, like, a year or two later, you know, a fucker like this, it's like, god damn it, it's like, motherfucker. It's just like, I mean, it's like, Jesus Christ. I mean, like, hopefully, at least, you know, there has been, you know, more, you know, backlash, you know, in these various different states, you know, that has been trying to, you know, like, push, you know, this type of policy in. So, like, I mean, like, hopefully this guy doesn't last too much long, you know, as a superintendent. I mean, he can, you know, at a certain point and to a degree, potentially be voted out. I mean, especially if, like, you know, there's enough, like, of a scandal around this fucker. And knowing this son of a bitch, there probably would be. Given time.
So that our kids understand our history and how our government was put together. Those core fundamental principles.
Oh yeah, I wonder what that core fundamental values are in your mind, huh, buddy?
It's the greatest country in the history of the world. Real Americans know that we've got to support our kids by giving them a great understanding of our history.
Film porn show. No, you're fine. I mean, yeah, if anything, it's better to at least just skip around to the main juice and shit, so I'm not just, you know, like, taking his, like, airtime based on, you know.
The leftists in the Biden administration, they would prefer...
The leftists in the Biden administration, like, they're fucking, like, analogous towards each other.
Sexualize our kids.
Where is he coming up with this? Who?
The GOP. This is like what the fascists think there, my dude.
Who do you think is sexualizing kids? What is this dude talking about? This is unhinged from reality, straight up. And you know what's even more sad than that? You know, I get a lot of my clips from places like Ron Filipkowski on Twitter, Right Wing Watch, Hemant Mehta has clips like this. You know where I got this clip from? Ryan Walters' Twitter account. He recorded this and thought to himself, this is exactly what I want to post to Twitter. This isn't even like I'm taking this out of context.
Because they're brazen about it and they don't give a shit.
Isn't even cut up or clipped or changed around or anything. This is his words from his mouth on his Twitter account that he posted. This is what he wants the world to know. There's no misinterpreting this. He is a fundamentalist extremist that wants to impose religion on everybody around him, including the children that he is a superintendent over. I mean, this whole sexualizing kids thing, it's all nonsense, obviously. But I don't know if you guys remember this guy. This is Doug Mastriano. Kind of hard to make out. He's on screen here, but yeah, he ran for Pennsylvania governor back in 2022. He lost, but he got 40% of the vote. He was pretty close. He's the Republican nominee for Pennsylvania governor. And this one came out early October 2022, so it was right before the 2022 election took place. This is what he wanted to say to his voters to try to encourage them to come out. Once you hear this, You'll connect the dots, Cliff.
This other
Show
crap
it.
that's going on will be forbidden in our schools.
Pole dancing.
Wait, what?
All this other crap that's going on.
Clip from a minute ago.
On day one, the sexualization of our kids, pole dancing, and all this other crap that's going on will be forbidden in our schools.
The sexualization, like pole dancing? Like what? Are there like, you know, classes on learning how to be a stripper or something? Is there like classes on learning how to pole dance or something in classes now?
Pole dancing.
Huh?
In schools. He thinks that kids are pole dancing in schools. Seriously.
Are we sure he just did not misconstrue Polish dancing or some shit like that, you know, and thought, wait, what? Pole dancing? Wait, strippers? What? Like, no, it's like, no, like, you know, Polish style dancing, you fucking idiot. Oh my god, dude, I bet that's what happened, but no, it was too late. His schizophrenic, fucking paranoid, fascist brain went, you know, the other way.
Right now. Okay? This is what the right seems to believe. They seem to be convinced that there's some gender ideology that is pervasive in teaching kids to pole dance in, like, elementary school. Really. Keep listening, it gets even crazier. Yeah, people cheering for this. Seriously.
Sex work class, maybe in college, sure.
On day
guess.
one, all the graphic books that are in elementary schools will be pulled out.
What?
Like, since when has there ever been an elementary school that has had, like, quote-unquote pornographic material? That's never, ever has been a thing. That's just absurd.
Which books is he talking about? Name one. Show me which districts they're in, specifically. Let's see how many are out there.
It's like the fucking litter box scandal, dude. It's like the furries in the fucking litter boxes in the bathrooms. They don't exist. They never have.
In elementary schools. He thinks that there are graphic books in elementary schools. Seriously.
I bet, you know what, I just realized, I guarantee you the same dude probably thinks that, like, you know, as much as there's, like, you know, like, pornographic material in elementary schools, this dude probably also thinks that there's, like, you know, unironically, like, furry litter boxes or some shit in bathrooms, too. Oh my god, dude, because these people are that fucking crazy to think, you know, that shit's genuine and actually out there, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, how can, like, how in the fuck is, like, you know, there any actual evidence of this? Like, because where is it? Like, if there, like, out of all the fucking, like, you know, fear-mongering about this, you would think there would actually be something, but no. Every time they, like, you know, pull anything that's remotely evidential towards it, it's just basically the most benign shit. And if anything, actually, like, you know, genuinely, like, you know, like, informative stuff that should be actually, you know, taught and stuff, but it's like, I wonder why they don't want that being taught. And it's like, not a coincidence at all that much, because, you know, it's something that might actually, you know, impose, like, you know, more of a sense of critical thinking in kids, and they don't want that.
Like I said, this is where the right is right now. This guy lost his election, but this is where they are. This is what they want to do. This is nuts.
Books that are in elementary schools will be pulled out. On day one and done, critical race theory is out the window.
Critical race.
Day one and done. Oh my god, dude. This...
Yeah, so
they think they're trying to be quitty with these things,
October
too.
2022, that was the hot button issue at the time, critical race theory, CRT. He apparently believed, or wanted everyone else to believe, that CRT was being taught in elementary schools. Dead serious.
No, they still think that's a thing. That's still being a problem.
People just losing their minds over it. Yeah, we gotta get rid of CRT! In elementary schools, come on!
That's right. Yep. Come on.
That's right, yep,
This is so cringy and terrible.
Oh my god, it just kind of feels like a police clap, but it's just like, I demand more applause. It's like, I already got your clap, but I demand more. That's right, come on, give more. Give me your tidings, you son of a bitch. It's just like, what the fuck?
Oh my god, this guy's a QAnoner, by the way. He appeared at a bunch of QAnon conferences.
Go figure.
Bunch
of course
weird
he is.
Stuff happened. Anyways, back to Ryan Walters. So that's the ideology of the right now. Let me form it out for you a little bit more. You saw this at the very beginning of the video, probably. This is the Teachers Union terrorist
That's school and
day.
sexual method seniors. Oh, Muscat stuff's school library of seniors, which had, yeah. For me, at least, you know, the most graphic thing I read personally was Night, because there was literally teenagers being, well, hung and stuff. Like, yeah, pretty graphic detailed shit. I mean, I'm sure you probably have read Night by Elie Wiesel. Like, it's a pretty graphic fucking novel. And, you know, I mean, that wasn't the only, you know, graphic novel that was, you know, in our school and shit, but that was just one of many of them. One that I've read before. And one that I think should be, like, you know, at least for high school especially, you know, that's standard. You ever heard of that novel? You should read it. It's as long as, I mean, well, it's pretty dark, dude, but it's a good one.
Giving a speech, I think, in front of the school board. I'm not sure exactly where he is, but listen to this. He released this on his Twitter account also, I believe, May 1st, 2023.
But, you know, the teachers union, you know, I don't negotiate with the teachers union. They're a terrorist organization that is content. Members.
He thinks the teachers union.
It's like, you know, I don't negotiate with unions because they're terrorists. I don't negotiate with terrorists. It's like, what are you, George Bush or some shit? Like, and the fucking unions or the Taliban? Like, that's pretty much just what he's equating to it. Like, it's like, I don't negotiate with terrorists. And it's like these teacher unions are doing, like, you know, like, bombings, I guess, and doing the equivalent of fucking, like, you know, like, the Taliban-y fucking terroristic, you know, like, action or something. Which is just comically insane. Like, this isn't to not negotiate with established union. Like, I mean, I suppose not technically, because obviously you see how many corporations and, you know, and like even government will like stall fucking negotiations and shit, you know, so, I mean, I would say, I mean, like, I guess technically not. I think it should be, and it should definitely be enforced, you know, when it comes to that, you know, so, and all, like, all in all, I mean, at least I would think so, at least to an extent. I'm not honestly 100% sure. Something that I should probably look into, to be honest.
The terrorist organization. This is sad. Teachers Union is just out there to make sure that teachers are paid what they are worth. And honestly, they're not even doing a good job of that. Like, they're not a terrorist organization.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I mean, you know, it's like, unfortunately, a lot of teachers unions aren't necessarily that great, but it's not really necessarily at the fault of the unions themselves. I mean, it just kind of depends on which ones we're talking about, because there's, like, different types of teachers unions, and there's different ones that, you know, like, have different problems and different flaws going on with them. Some of them are just, like, you know, like, really weak and don't have enough strength, you know, to back them up. And then there's, like, definitely, like, some unions that just, honestly, you know, kind of keep bad teachers in and don't necessarily, you know, uplift or recognize good teachers and shit. I mean, it's just kind of a give or take. It's a little bit of kind of a back and forth with it when it comes to it. It just depends on which, you know, like, you know, teachers, you know, we're talking with. But if this motherfucker, like, this idea that they're just all, like, you know, terrorist organizations or whatever the fuck is just retarded and insane. And shouldn't he, like, and honestly, this motherfucker would have been laughed out of the room. And this, like, as far as I'm concerned, like, I mean, like, because, I mean, that's, like, I mean, because what's that supposed to do besides just rabble-rouse, you know, the fucking members and shit, and, like, you know, union workers, especially for people like me and stuff. I mean, because that's all it's meant to do, is to try to make them, you know, look like they're the aggressive one, being like, rah, rah, rah. You know, because, like, see, you know, it's like they are, because look how uncivil they are. I mean, see, this is why they're terrorists, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I mean, it's a way to try to get a rile out of them. Oh, dude, he totally gets off of vibes if, like, you know, anyone goes on strike and he gets immediately, you know, fire them for it.
How do you describe that other than unglued from reality, honestly?
That has continued to spread misinformation around the state and lie about our administration. So, Speaker,
just like you, Walters, you fuck.
My question regarding your rhetoric was not about party alone. I don't want to speak for my colleague from Tulsa, but my view is when you talk about radical leftists, that is certainly partisan.
Absolutely, it's politically charged. Of course it is.
Sure.
And I do question how you see us coming together as a result of that kind of language. But
not just as a result of that language, but how does he see them coming together when he dehumanizes them so much like that? He just says radical leftists, calls them terrorists and all this stuff at a school board meeting.
I mean, yeah, it's like, I mean, how does he not expect everyone to, you know, even if, honestly, like, I am looking, you know, at that dude, you know, was just talking there for a second, I'm not looking at him thinking, oh, yeah, he's a radical, like, commie secretly, like, because he doesn't look like it. I mean, he just kind of, like, looks like a kind of a typical, you know, probably maybe, like, kind of centrist-ish, you know, maybe, like, center-left, you know, something like that, kind of blue-collar, you know, type of average Joe, you know, crew cut dude. That's kind of what I, you know, perceive him as and shit. But when you got like a dude like that who is being labeled as like some radical terrorist or whatever the fuck, I mean, you know, at that point, it's like I mean, yeah, you're gonna look at, you know, what's considered quote radical left, be like, if this really is like gonna be, you know, if I'm like somehow lumped into these people, and frankly, even half the shit that they say, while granted may be radical, you know, even for my taste, isn't even that bad, then, well, I mean, what's really so bad with them? It gets them more open, you know, to, you know, their perspective and more in solidarity, and basically got that entire room to just kind of like, you know, be on their side. Especially if such, like, feminist rhetoric used against him. It's like, I mean, it's like how you get an entire room to essentially be against you. Is be like, oh, do you teach unions are terrorists? Well, you just got, like, 95% of the room against you. Good job. Even people who might not necessarily be in favor of the union. You know, it's like, yeah, I'm not a big fan of unions, but they're not, like, terrorists. I mean, come on now. Quit being hyperbolic, you freak. Like, I mean, you'll get a dude like, I mean, you'll get people like that, because even, you know, they're not that fucking unhinged about, you know, being against unions and stuff. I mean, it's like, there's plenty of people who are rational, sane-minded to be like, you know, well, not sane-minded enough to realize that unions are good, but at least realize enough that, like, they're not terrorist organizations. Like, dude, at least they'd recognize that. Is the next step above the school board superintendent, the school board? I think so.
To shut down. He's obviously not going to participate. I mean, this guy is obviously a right-wing MAGA extremist at this point. Like, I know that
at this point,
using similar language to what he's using here, but I need to point it out that this guy lives in an alternate reality that has an alternate set of facts connected to it. There is no negotiating with this guy. You know, I would love to negotiate and meet in the middle and work on deals that are amicable for everybody, or honestly, amicable for nobody. You know what? Compromise isn't always one side winning. A lot of the time, compromise is both sides losing. But this guy...
Yeah, because that's like, that's like such a good way to look at compromise. Like, it's like, I'd kind of disagree with that, frankly. Wish I kind of skipped ahead, honestly, to not have to hear that, because I have a whole fucking quip about it. Like, I mean, compromise isn't supposed to be like, oh, we both lose something out of it. It's supposed to be we both have a little bit of a, you know, gain, you know, of interest from this. It's, you know, maybe not like what we totally want, because obviously there's a little loss in the sense that what you're gaining is incremental. Like, that's the whole point of compromise, is that, you know, both sides gets an incremental, you know, gain out of, you know, like, what could have been a total loss. That's kind of the point of compromise. Like, yeah, it's basically you win some, you lose some, you know, both sides, you know, win and lose some. That's kind of the whole idea. Like, it's not about, like, both sides losing or both sides winning. Like, that's just, yeah, it's a Tesla. Well, yeah, I know this. And honestly, this is, like, this isn't even necessarily a lib take. It's just kind of like a cuck take, honestly. It's like, oh, yeah, let's have, like, you know, an agreement where both sides, like, lose. Like, who would ever agree to that anyway? Like, I sure as shit won't. Like, I mean, there has to be at least some sense of, like, you know, gain from both sides for a compromise to really work, even if it leans one way or the other. I mean, sure, because there's plenty of compromises that are, and I guess you can infer that there's more being lost, at least, you know, one way or the other due to that, but that's why they're called compromises. I mean, also, it's not as simple as how he just fucking put it. It's like, good lord. Like, that just kind of irked me. Because I don't even really agree with that. It's like, I mean, because... I mean, it's just more complicated than that. It's not just as simple as that.
From a group of extremists that, who was it, Barry Goldwater maybe, described... Hey, let me find the quote from Barry Goldwater.
Yeah. He lives in New York, so forgive him for takes, because that's basically all that's up there. I mean, not necessarily, because if that's the case, then wouldn't I just be a full-on lib? Because I live in the Pacific Northwest, I mean, I'd just be a different brand of lib. I mean, so, well, I guess there's a little bit more hodgepodge of leftism going on around here, but I mean, same for New York, too. I mean, you know, New York has got, like, its own fair share of that going on, too.
quote from Barry Goldwater. If you don't...
He's just like, you know, he just happens to be a lib. This is that, how his politics are. Whatever.
Goldwater. He was like a presidential candidate that got pretty close back in the day, and it had a lot of populist support. Anyways, here's a quote from Barry Goldwater. Mark my word, if and when these preachers get control of the Republican Party, and they're sure trying to do so, it's going to be a terrible damn problem. It's going to be a terrible damn problem. Frankly, these people frighten me. Politics and governing demand compromise, but these Christians believe they're acting in the name of God, so they can't and won't compromise. I know, I've tried to deal with them. This was a Republican. This is a conservative right-wing guy who recognized the problem that now exists. Okay.
I mean, that was because this is like a culmination of what happened with Reagan. I mean, because, like, you know, Barry Goldwater was like, you know, like, I think it was during around that era of, you know, American politics and shit. Like, and, you know, part of, you know, and like what Reagan did was kind of help codify a lot of that type of movement, you know, into more of a political movement. Because, frankly, when it came to Christians in America, like, prior to Reagan and his political Christian nationalistic, like, influence in American politics, and kind of inferring that into, like, you know, American politics moving forward, especially immensely in the mainstream, like, in a lot of ways, like, I mean, like, a lot of Christianity in America was really somewhat apolitical. Like, it kind of was like, oh, we just let the mainly affairs, you know, be held by politicians. You know, we worry about, like, God's affairs and blah, blah. You know, they had, like, a whole philosophy about it. I mean, but it wasn't up until, like, a lot of these different, more political-based type of, you know, influenced pastors and different, like celebrity types, people like Reagan, that kind of, you know, codified a lot of that, you know, Christian messaging and shit into more of a political message, and codified that into a lot of the Christian nationalism that is very influential in America today because of it.
I saw...
Think I've been tired today? Yeah, I don't necessarily blame me, dude. I'm feeling still a little rusty out, but definitely better than the last couple days. It's like a Trump quote spoke of someone with more brain power than 100 Trumps, and then 100 Trumps. Well, I guess that's, I don't know, I guess that's a way to kind of summarize Barry Goldwater, but, I mean, he was honestly a lot more competent, though. Like, Barry Goldwater, you know, granted for who he was smart.
Problem creeping up. Extremists who refuse to work with
an evil shitbag, but
others
still.
And call teachers' unions terrorist organizations. Okay, that's the problem Barry Goldwater saw coming all the way back in, I don't know, 1960-something. And that's the problem that we are now faced with. These people, specifically people like Ryan Walters, have no place in a position of authority. None. I can't believe the dude is, like, connected or is a superintendent. That's crazy to me. Anyway, so this guy is succinctly explaining that, like, using radical, politicized, partisan language in this type of setting is not productive and not a good way to get things done. And obviously the guy doesn't even want to compromise. He has no interest in compromise, like Barry Goldwater said.
As a result of that kind of language. But you also talk about it in terms of American history and not teaching the bad side of it. But then this morning, before you came in here, you posted a video wherein you talk about how you'd like to put Bibles in all public schools. I grew up in a Christian church, and I still adhere to many of those beliefs. But
a good compromise fucks everyone equally. But at least it is not entirely unpleasant. Well, I guess depending on, you know, like, the broader outcome of said compromise, but...
It's not our job, and in fact, it is constitutionally prohibited for us to. I guess I'm curious what your definition of indoctrination is, because what you said in that video could absolutely be construed as an attempt to indoctrinate kids.
Oh, it couldn't be construed.
Oh, it is, because, like, if you're trying to push, like, you know, Bibles in all public schools, that literally is indoctrination, and actually illegal and unconstitutional. Like, I mean, the idea that you could just try to push that is, like, the only way you can get away with that is if you have, like, every major religious text as well. So, like, the Bhagavad Gita, fucking, you know, the Quran, the Torah, you know, and all the other ones, you know, the Mormon fucking Bible or whatever the fuck, yeah, like, I mean, all of them, fuck it. Like, I mean, it's either all or none. Like, that's literally the only way he can get away with it. But, of course, he wouldn't like that because he doesn't want all the other religious texts out there. He just wants that good old Christian Bible. And if that's the case, then just make the Christian Bible, like, 5 times bigger than the rest of them, then. I don't know. Make the rest of them just like these little pamphlet size. I mean, make it feel better for your fucking oversized ego, you freak. I mean, Jesus Christ, like, I mean, it's, you know, they're not even necessarily smart enough to at least use some sort of tiny little loophole, even if it, you know, it has to, like, you know, put another little religion on there. I mean, it's like good fucking, oh yeah, Scientology too. As that is not recognized as a religion, I think. Well, yeah, I think you're right, actually. I don't think it's, well, no. I don't know. I actually don't know about Scientology. All I know is that it should be shut the fuck down, but I don't know if it's, like, actually tax exempt or not. I think it is, so, but I have no idea.
It is indoctrinating kids to try to put Bibles in every classroom and impose religion upon kids. That's indoctrination, if anything is, right? Let's just define the word indoctrinate here.
But we already know.
So they don't have the opportunity to use critical thinking skills on it before they even learn critical thinking skills.
Scientology is even more of a grift than other religions. They aren't even quiet about it. Yeah, like, they're a full-on, like, tax fraud organization that does, like, you know, very likely questionable human/sex trafficking, you know, behind the scenes. So, like, they're very overt about their shit.
He wants to push this belief system upon them. That's how this works.
Yeah, you know, and I appreciate that question because it does illustrate that Democrats want to strike out any mentions of the Bible from our...
Once again, this is partisan language.
Oh my god, of course he's just going straight. It's like they want to strike out the Bible. Yeah, no one's doing that. Churches still exist. The Bible still exists. Like, just because it's not in public schools, because, you know, there's a secular society that does not invoke a emphasis on one religion over the other. Like, I mean, fuck. Like, I mean, it's just like, there's no, like, trying to scratch the Bible out of fucking society just because, like, in public governmental affairs or in buildings and shit, you know, you're not supposed to have, like, an emphasis on one or the other. If a child wants to personally have one or personally read one on their own time, you know, on school property, that's up for a child or a teacher to do that on their own time and stuff. They could... Like, or I mean, they could even use it for, like, a study, like, if they're talking about, like, you know, oh, you know, like, I don't know, like, Sumerian history or some shit, or, like, or, I don't know, okay, not Sumerian history, but, you know, like, fucking, like, you know, history that might, you know, pertain towards, you know, like, you know, where the Bible might be involved. It's like, well, yeah, I mean, here's why, you know, you have, you know, Bibles like this, and then, you know, like a new, King James one because of this guy, and King James, and blah, 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 blah. Like, I mean, there's ways where you can evoke it in a secularized sense, you know, and shit, but you could do that for any, you know, any book or anything. You know, so it's just, like, as far as I'm concerned, like, when it comes to, like, an educational setting, like, I mean, you can have that type of shit there. Like, it's the fact that you're trying to put it, like, I mean, what Walters is doing is trying to put an emphasis on this shit. Like, oh, it has to be, like, an established, you know, rule over everything else. It's like, no, that's the problem. Like, no one's trying to scratch the shit out of society. Like, fuck, when I was in 7th grade, when we were talking, like, our world history teacher, like, you know, like, part of, like, early Egyptian history was learning a little about early elements about Christianity, too. And, yeah, we talked about the Bible a little bit during that, during the times, in class during that time, frame and shit. I mean, it came up, you know, off and on occasionally. In fact, one kid actually happened to have a Bible with him a lot and shit, and every now and then he will let us borrow, the teacher will let him borrow it, to fucking, you know, let us read through a few things that were kind of, like, yeah, here's what's kind of somewhat related to a little bit of this, and here's kind of, like, you know, blah, 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 blah. Like, I mean, you know, it was kind of, honestly, in a way, a little fun outside just the traditional take notes out of your textbook bullshit. I honestly thought it was a little interesting. So, I mean, because that shit's fine. There's nothing inherently wrong with that. You know, and the reason why that was allowed is because it's a part of an educational setting. You're not trying to emphasize a push of religion. You're talking about Christianity in an educational format, which is okay. Like, and that's in the very communist, liberal, gay agenda PNW. It's like, I mean, for fuck's sake. I mean, at least, well, granted, it was back in the day, you know, back in, like, what, fucking, like, 12 or some shit. It was way back in, you know, like a decade ago at this point.
strike out language of anything like that. As a
maybe longer, honestly, now I think about it. Probably like 2011 or 2010. Yeah, more like 2010 probably, now I think about it.
Who has a responsibility to teach children according to a curriculum. You can't impose your religion upon these kids. Whether this guy likes it or not, this country, the United States, is made up of people of all different backgrounds. We've got Jewish people here, we've got Christians, we've got Muslims, we've got Sikhs, Hindus, Jains, Buddhists, atheists. We got everybody of every religious position across the spectrum. This guy wants to use his position of authority as a representative of the government to impose his Christian religious beliefs upon Muslim children, upon Jewish children. That's what he wants to do.
Or agnostic or atheist children, or satanic kids and shit, or anyone else.
Goal. That's the end that he's working toward.
Or like a little neo-pagan LARPer kid or something. I mean, or whatever, you know, it's just like, I mean, shit.
Imposing those religious beliefs on the people around him, he is complaining that they are unhappy about that. Democrats don't want to
because they want to try to portray themselves as the victim. Like, really, that's just what, you know, kind of what he's about to just kind of narrow it down towards. I just want to skip a little bit while I get into it, because basically it's like, every time they, you know, try to scapegoat a victim and endlessly talk about, like, you know, how there's, like, this evil, abhorrent shit, you know, destroying everything, you know, and we need to, like, you know, seek it out because they're the victim of it. Like, they're, like, this abhorrent, you know, victim of, like, this absurd, you know, backtrack of society and shit, and we need to just get ourselves on track on proper Judeo values and shit. I mean, that's really what it is. It's just like a fucking victimhood. Just fucking victimhood complex one-on-one type of shit.
To believe the way that he does, uncritically.
The Democrats want to strike out any mentions of the Bible from our history. And make sure that our...
No, if it's a legitimate part of history, then it can be included. It's just not a part of U.S. history, that's all.
I mean, well, okay, Telltale, you're a little wrong. I mean, frankly, I mean, yeah, there's definitely times where the Bible can technically be used in context of American history. Because, frankly, like, I mean, there's plenty of, you know, contexts where there's been... like, you know, leaders, politicians, or, like, significant figures and shit that have, like, invoked the Bible and shit, you know, before. Like, I mean, so in a sense, there can be, you know, contextual use for it, so to speak. You know, depending on, like, you know, what we're talking about, all in all. And if anything, you know, there's some elements about, like, some aspects systemically about what America has done that can be invoked due to aspects of biblical context. You know, so it's just like, I mean, in a sense, I mean, yeah, I mean, you can. Hell, I mean, the Puritans, for example, like Salem witch trials, I mean, that was heavily, like, I mean, there's a lot of heavily invocation of biblical elements and culture and shit, you know, with that, so, I mean, I mean, I don't know, I mean, it's just like, there could definitely be context, you know, where it can be, you know, used in, at least, you know, obviously for historical study and shit, in a secular sense.
The Bible from our history, and make sure that our kids... That real quick.
I mean, it's just, he just, like, pissed someone off enough to just start getting them off. Dude, I love it. Go off, whoever's doing it.
I think somebody said, can I respond real quick?
Yeah, seriously.
That real quick. Superintendent, I do not believe that. And if you can keep that out of your mouth while you answer my question, I'd appreciate it. All right.
Oh my god, look what this dude, like, every time I notice, like, this whole room starts rabble-rousing it up a little bit, that fucker starts grinning. Dude, he's eating this shit up like a fucking dog that's, like, you know, desperate for water, bro. Like, he's just lapping this shit right up, dude. Like, I mean, my god, dude, he just loves this attention. Oh, but you're the victim, huh, buddy?
Guess it wasn't his turn to talk, so they got upset. All right.
Appreciate it. All right, this meeting's adjourned. Thank you for being here. Have a good
Thank you. Like, they didn't even give anybody a chance.
Yeah, so no chance to respond. It's just like, all right, people got too, you know, uppity, so we're done.
They gave that.
Dude, wow. So far for, you know, the conference, I guess.
I had a chance to talk for a minute, but I don't know. I'm just not happy with this situation. Look, apparently he's a pocket square kind of fella. This guy's got a pocket square. Okay.
Yeah, oh yes, he's a pocket square man.
Not everybody's a pocket square guy. Wait, what was that she said? Hold on.
Oh my dude, yeah. Why did he, dude? Even the other guy came over there and started pushing that mic away.
I think she's saying something about praising him, something. So, anyways, yeah.
Hold on, maybe I'll try.
Okay. Not everybody's a pocket.
I want here.
I think she's saying something about praise.
Yeah, dude, actually, it's hard. Fuck. Yeah, it's like, I want to praise you, something. Yeah, it then just gets beyond that, because then they start fucking with the mic.
Him, something. So, anyways, yeah. This guy's just unhinged from reality in every way. It's so bizarre and disturbing. I don't even know what to do with it. Alright, check this one out. May 4th, 2023. Again, not all of these.
Dude, this guy keeps going on with these. Dude, this guy just, like, has nothing better to do with himself, does he?
The majority of these I got from his Twitter account that he posted personally, just because he likes to. Just because this is what he believes. This isn't taken out of context. This isn't...
Alright, I'll check that out after this. Just because, obviously, we can take the screen down here. Hold on, we'll check out this clip here.
He wanted you to hear it.
Well, the national test scores are out on U.S. history, and 86% of students are at basic or below level in their understanding of U.S. history. Only 1% scoring advanced. And folks, this is what happens when we allow the left to push indoctrination in the classroom, critical race theory.
Oh yeah, let's not look at the whole problem of standardized testing. Let's just look at, the libs. The radical left.
Wow, okay, what? Where is all...
Like, I mean, his critique should literally be fucking, I don't know, like, standardized testing. That should be the problem.
It seems to me that the logical conclusion to what he's saying, if this is even true, is it even true that 86% are below average in U.S. history? Probably not. Don't believe a word out of his mouth. You need to look...
I mean, yeah, I don't even necessarily believe that anyway. I mean, it's like, here, hold on, let me see if there's, like, another clue. And oh wait, hold on. We'll see. I think there's like one more near the very end. It looked like, yeah, there was.
Don't know U.S. history, like as if U.S. history classes are not teaching U.S. history. This is just like fabricated garbage.
Products of the same Bama public education system right there.
Dude seems
well, this would be Oklahoma.
For like his religious beliefs.
Wait, hold on.
For like a slot on Fox News or something. He's doing everything he can to impose his religion.
I mean, honestly, like, the dude is literally setting his camera up like, he's, like, doing one of those, like, anchor positions like he would be on Fox.
People around him, and
it does look like, well, I guess it was a full clip, but, I mean, it does look like, he is doing one of those type of things where eventually he's trying to get a leg up in, like, media career, especially of how, like, hyper blunt he is with his buzzwordery. Hey, what's this? They mad at us? What's going on with this one? Wait, what? That's mad sus. Guys, Big Bird laid another egg. Another egg. And another egg. And another egg. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I think I can show this. There's nothing really overtly, like... I mean, it's sussy, but, there's nothing, like, overtly going on there that's super blunt. Don't let you distract us from the time. Or wait, don't let this distract you from the fact that there is a timeline where Big Bird died in the Challenger disaster. Wait, what? Whoa. Damn, bro. That's some deep shit right there. Damn. Well, I guess that is some of the indoctrination that, was going to be happening, dude. It's just fucking, getting those eggs from Big Bird. Cracking them open and being like, oh shit, those weren't actually eggs. It's like, I don't know. Oh, hell. Where did a little fluff ball go? Alright, it's back outside. Ugh, definitely not. I'm actually gonna see. Is it gonna get like a little colder like at all, or are we just like basically stuck with the heat for here on out, like for the rest of the year? Man, because I'm stuck with the heat for the rest of the year. I'm gonna hate it. It's gonna suck. Oh my god. It's gonna be like 87, and then Wednesday 91, 87, 84, 83. So I guess by Sunday it's gonna get into 70s. Oh, still fucking bullshit ass. Ugh. Yeah. Ugh. I'm not excited for it. I'm not ready for it. Oof. Oof. That's how I feel. Just, ugh. Here. Let's see what random fun things I can find here on the tube. It's like 3rd consecutive summer, fuck 2020. Made most of it. On that river like you own the cons. Yeah, I'm thinking, I'll probably, well, maybe not Wednesday or Thursday, but maybe like sometime next week I'll probably do that. What the fuck? Wait, what is this? Are you an alien discovering Starseed TikTok? Wait, no, don't, dude. Oh no, what is Starseed TikTok? Oh boy. If these pics feel familiar, you may be... Oh my god. Well, next week the river will be warmer, still pretty cold. Well, yeah, next week that furry convention happens as well. So, like, once this week's over, then I'll have that week. And then, yeah, so I'm thinking, like, maybe, like, on my way up there, I'll probably take a dive, and then, and the whole shebang and shit, so. Yeah, let's see what these are.
You may be from Sirius? What?
What the fuck? Oh, my, yeah, just some random fucking Google Images pictures.
What the fuck, dude? Bro, that's just like 2 whales kissing, dude. You must be from a different planet? No, like, I just maybe saw that photo.
Maybe once or twice. Wait, what? This is how accurate? Boomer humor. How maggots see themselves, how we actually see them. Paul Blarts. Yep. That is definitely accurate and very true.
Like, that's the funniest thing, is just, like, imagining that different universes are still, like, absolutely within our framework and perspective of understanding. Why the fuck do you think aliens are humanoid? That's just, like, such a fucking human-centric approach, dude. Motherfuckers will look at, literal furry porn and be like, yeah, if this feels right to you, you must be not from Gaia. Not.
You must be from, like, another planet, bro. It's damn. Yeah, I must secretly, if that's the case, then I just must secretly be from another planet, because, it does something to me. And it's just like, damn, I mean, if that's the case, then maybe I just come from another planet. That's what's actually going on. I'm actually an alien, bro. We need to make a triumphant return to that Dr. Sukavo. Oh, yeah, so you can actually finally, learn how to swim and not be scared of the water like a little bitch. I was watering the front of my yard a little bit, kind of get things wet down a little. And I kind of sprayed Zukov a little bit, and he just ran away like a little bitch. I felt bad for him. I'm just like, oh my god, are you really that scared over water? Seriously, Pop?
Like that furry shit, whatever.
There's no such thing as a coincidence. The fact that you're watching this video means you are energetically aligned with me and Aquafarians.
Dude, yo, that is...
Whoa, dude. Like, damn. Aquafarians, bro. We are the water people.
Scary, dude. What?
Damn.
Oh, God, I can't. It's another one of those close talkers, dude. How do these motherfuckers figure out close talking on a camera? It's just like, I can't look at him. He's got the Sigma frame. Oh.
Dude, also his eyes are, like, really wide apart, too. It's just like, what's going on with that?
He's breaking my frame!
Like,
but you may know them as...
This dude is literally an elf.
Mermaids. The truth is, the being with the humanoid torso and fish-like tail is only one type of aquafarian.
Oh my god, dude.
There are many more.
Oh my god, bro. Dude, this takes me back to those, like, crazy conspiracy videos from, like, 2008 or 9, that used to be on YouTube. Oh my god, dude. Fuck yes. Oh, dude, this shit's awesome. This shit is great. Oh, I love it. This absurd shit where you just, like, look at the most weirdest ass, like 2003 Nokia recorded video of just, like, this obscure thing, and just, like, yep, this is alien, or yep, these are mermaids, or this or that, or some shit. It's like, oh, dude, top tier, dude. That was, like, some top tier shit on YouTube back in the day. It's really hard to find shit like that now, man. Fuck YouTube. Like, it makes it so hard to find, like, some good quality fucking shit.
Extra-quantic beings that come in all shapes and sizes. Remember, only
What the fuck? What was that even supposed to be? Like, some sort of fish that, like, what's it called? Like, got depressurized or something? What's it called when they, like, blowed up and, like, you know, basically become blobfish or whatever the fuck? I think it's like depressurizing, because they're like hyperpressurizing or some shit, because they're so deep at the bottom of the ocean. But if you just drag them up to the surface, you know, especially very quickly, they like, you know, blow it up and shit and basically die. Like, I'm pretty sure that's whatever that was.
percent of the oceans on planet Earth have been explored and charted.
That's not even true. I'm pretty sure it's like 30-something%. It's more than that. I think it's like 70%. A lot of that's just basically mostly deep ocean water. Like, we don't really know what's in the deep oceans for the most part.
The secrets kept from Earth humans of the amount of cities they have discovered underwater.
What the fuck?
Oh my lord. So, because, like, you know, geography and water tides and things like that shift over thousands years, and, you know, water levels rise, the sea levels water rises and shit. Thus, that means that, like, you know, ancient civilizations, you know, where their towns and cities used to be on the coast are now underwater. Thus, that means they are aliens, or like Atlantis or so. Oh my god, I love that shit. Oh my lord.
Every underwater city is a result of a flood or natural disaster. But the truth is, a lot of these cities are the...
Well, wait, so if he actually... Wait, so if this TikToker acknowledges that, then why is he even mentioning it? Underwater city of Yanaguni. So, okay, I guess about to get it. A lot of shit.
Ancient underwater civilizations purposely built underwater by aquafarians. Either that, or one big coincidence.
Oh my god.
And he wrapped it up by saying there's no such thing as a coincidence.
There's no such thing as a coincidence. The fact...
I mean, that's because that's the point. Like, you know, because especially if how the shit loops, it's like, oh, is it just one big coincidence? And then, you know, it starts, you know, the TikTok essentially saying, it's like one of those, like, perfect loop ones where it's like, there is no such thing as coincidence.
You're watching this video.
Wait, but that's so stupid. Like, you know, people can recognize whether something was above the water before it went underwater, right? Like, there are ways of figuring such things out.
Well, the whole idea is that layman just looking for a TikTok is not going to know that.
Because you
He's taking advantage of gullible people.
Doesn't mean that, like, what the fuck? In 500 years, when Florida's underwater, people are going to think it was a utopia? Yeah, little will they know.
Oh my god, dude. Oh no, alright, we gotta make sure that we, you know, like, have control over the history books in the next 50+ years when that happens.
It was fucking dog shit. Many spiritually gifted people have had past lives in other galaxies. Maldek, home of the Maldekians. Yeah,
my guy, is this, dude, no way. Like, see it from, like, a different galaxy far away from the planet Maldek.
Bruh. Because I'm a mauled-er myself. That's why you mauled. That's why I mauled. If you're balding and you're angry all the time, that means you're from fucking Maldek, dude.
Maldek,
I'm
bro.
also spiritually gifted.
Dude, this is like, you know, like, the origins of how you start malding is because you're just channeling your Maldekian essence from Maldek, dude.
Like, I mean, this is, like, cool.
Yeah, Maldek. No, it's MLD, like mald, like you're malding, but it's MALDEK. It did Maldekian, so that, but so MALDEKIAN. So it's I don't know, bro. Maldek of the Maldekians, dude.
Instead of people taking people like this seriously, we just like appreciated it for the art that it brings to the world. The same energy as like when I see Tumblr adjacent takes from like Tumblr refugees on Twitter about how like you're fucking ableist if you make fun of me for not wanting to eat seafood. Like that's like funny. Like that's really creative. And if you can't laugh at that, like I don't know what to tell you. You're just laugh at this shit. But
I mean, that's all you can really do. That's why I love this type of content. Like, at least Hassan understands it because it's just funny. All you know, just dog on it, poke fun at it. You know, like, you know, debunk some stuff here and there, but that's all you really need for it.
Oftentimes these people that have these sorts of takes, because of how the internet works, will literally fucking take themselves super seriously and get upset at you and say that you're like undermining and attacking my spirituality, and then they'll fucking turn around and be like, this is what the Native American people believed in, so you're like attacking them too. It's like you are.
Oh my god, dude. I mean, and also you'll look at these same type of people and in their like PFPs, they're like the most pastely white looking emo chick ever.
White girl that went to a fucking liberal arts university. You are not
Yep.
Native American, okay? And also, Native Americans did not believe in like the Meldekians. Is that a shot of Tatooine where Meldekians come from? Yeah, that's the funny thing is like, you know, describing like this is.
Oh my god, that is Tatooine. It has those little Jawa things. Those Jawa vehicles. Oh my god. Dude. Wow.
Pinterest board for like red aesthetic, and it's like in her mind though this is an entirely separate universe. If these seem familiar, you have had a past life in
Lyra.
Trigger warning: anxiety and intense colors.
Oh my. What? Okay. So really, like, is this supposed, like...
I mean, it's just, like, cool, right? Like,
I mean, it's just, like, it's literally just, like, showing off different art, basically. Like, is that really what's it? It's like, here's art that could be tangentially related to your sign or some shit. Because I'm noticing there's a lot of astrology shit going on with this.
this is, like, cool shit. I wish these universes...
I mean, because honestly, a lot of this really is just like, here's some cool art, you know, basically. You might be from this galaxy, or you might be an alien that comes from this planet or something. Which, if I come from a planet that has, like, what is it? That, where was that lion-looking dude? Like, I mean, if I came from a planet that had, like, this dude, you know, as, you know, just kind of vibing and chilling, I'd be like, alright, that's pretty dope. It's got, like, a little cobra just kind of hanging out on his head. It's like, dude, that's pretty sick. I'd be vibing with that guy.
Right? And that, like, there's life out there or some shit, but that's, like, you know what I mean? That's to the extent of my interest. It's not like I don't take it seriously. You've had a past life in $0.1/8 of a dollar? Why you gotta say that? So aren't the Turkish people hurting enough, dude, that you gotta fucking remind them their currency exchange rate, dude, really? It's just romanticism in space with a tint. It's just like, I don't know.
With an astrology tint.
Disclaimer, if you feel familiar with one of my Starseed videos, I personally highly recommend you do your research before saying that you're that kind of Starseed. Do not try to romanticize or stream these cultures. What? If you need help, I'm here, but inform yourself about the Starseed if you think you are from there. It's an important path. Knowing your past, you should not take this superficially. I'm just here to help you discover yourself and your path. It's important you don't do...
Bruh, what the fuck does that even mean? It's like, do your research if you're a starseed from another planet, bruh. Like,
cultural
dude.
appropriation. It's like, am I being gaslit right now?
I mean, I do. Like, I mean, no, seriously. Like, what is this? Like, there's like some weird gaslighting shit. It's like, what in the fuck? It's like, you know, if you feel this way, and also it's like, don't worry, do your research, and, you know, it's like, if you criticize this is like appropriation or something. It's like, what?
Oh, dude, not to hit you too much with some Foucault, but there was a point in time when we used to look at, you know, the village idiot or whatever as a fascinating and colorful person. Then we started medicalizing that person and decided that that person was wrong and had a problem, and that was a problem that needed to be fixed. Now we have done a fucking full circle back to just looking at these people as though they're fascinating, except also feels as though, you know, we're taking it maybe a little too seriously, like other people are taking it a little too seriously. Now everyone thinks the village idiot is onto something. Yeah, I mean, I think people are so desperate to find a path. Just wait until you hear about shifting. Yeah, I heard about shifting. It's just literally dreaming, right? That's what it is. Zoomers have been grinded. Zoomer culture has been grinded and commoditized to a degree where, like, motherfuckers literally dream and go, oh my god, this might be something unique to me as a fucking starseed. I'm just dreaming. This is the best one.
I mean, honestly, basically it's no equivalent, it's, or no different, I should say, to, like how Christians, think, oh, I saw, an angel or, had a vision from God and shit. I mean, it really isn't too much different, it's just like another whole little, like, roleplay aesthetic towards it.
Familiar to you? You might be from Brazil.
What the fuck?
Sweaty, you're not from the Brazilian astral plane, and right now, you are literally appropriating Brazilian astral plane culture. That's kind of fucked up. If you haven't shifted to Brazil, then don't talk about it, okay? These seem familiar to you. You may have been reincarnated.
From Andromeda?
Andromeda.
These are also loud. It's the same music, too. I mean, okay. I mean, it's cool art. I mean, that's all I'm like really getting from these weird ass little Starseed things. That like just showing off random cool looking art.
Literally just, this is like a
I mean, this looks like just a gigantic cathedral.
Thing that exists on this planet. And you just put a filter on it, dude. Like, I don't understand.
That just looks like a city skyline. Like, what the fuck?
Literally, like, human beings that live on this planet, like, drew this shit. Like, it's like a human architecture.
But nope, you must be from Andromeda, though. You might be from, like, Milky Way's galaxy's most closest neighbor, though, and on a planet over there if you see this city skyline somewhere.
This? I mean, yeah, it's fucking cool. It's like a fun and cool thing to believe.
How to tell if you are a starseed. But before I explain what
oh god
is, I'm gonna have you pick a card. Pick the card you feel.
Bro, it's just for fun, relax. I mean, dude, yeah, if it's just for fun, then it's one thing. But if people are taking this seriously, it's kind of weird.
Most drawn to. So a starseed is a soul that has come to Earth with a double mission.
Like, do people take this seriously?
A double mission?
As well as raising the frequency of the planet. And many starseeds are
raising the frequency of the planet? What the fuck does that even mean?
Old souls that have reincarnated many times beyond this planet. If you resonate with that description, you might be a starseed. But now, remember the card you picked, and if
oh, I wish I was as confident in my art as an 18-year-old bisexual white girl witch. You will never be able to do that. That's a different level of confidence, dude. Sounds like
I mean, there is an extra level of like confidence going on with that one.
Extra steps. I mean, it is.
I mean, it's basically just like astrology, but with extra visuals and shit, essentially.
I'm gonna make this a series on my page. Okay, so you guys really liked my other two Starseed videos, so I'm here today to finish the rest and make this like a mini-series. So the picture behind me is a collage of all the 6 common type of Starseed. And in this video, I'm gonna be talking about the...
Why are they all humanoids, dude?
Yeah, why do they all look human? Like, what the fuck? Like, I mean, it's like, you got like some dudes over here in the far bottom corner that look like, some Jesus-looking resurrected dudes, some glam metal band-looking guys, some Native American-looking ones, some Green Lantern Celtic, like, fucking shit, some more alien things, some androids.
Pleiades.
Like the fuck?
So Pleiadian starseeds are from the constellation of Pleiades, or are like right under the Little Dipper. These beings live in the third and ninth dimension, and they all...
I mean, the third and the ninth, Jesus Christ. Like, I mean, oh my lord. Okay, so... Where's, like, any of the evidence for any of this? I mean, it's, like, I get it for it being fun and silly, but, like, I mean, good lord. If we're gonna, like, take actual claims that, oh, yeah, there's, like, planets or, like, certain, like... I mean, what's the claim? Like, what? Are they, like, a little, like, federation of planets or something? And they're all just, like, the same dudes?
Very Nordic-like appearance, like this.
Like, why would you know that? Like, what?
And, wait, Nordic-like? Wait, so what does that even mean? Look like me? Or something?
Third and ninth dimension, dude? Yeah, not the 8th. Use your intuition to guide you. God damn, she's got winged eyeliner.
This one's even extra loud.
Bro, that's literally Bayview Motel, dude. What?
Martian Starseed? Like, oh my god. Wait, so a Starseed from literally, like, Mars? Seriously?
That one. You literally did not try with this. Motherfuckers will post photos for...
Alright, yeah, if someone is not trying that hard, there's definitely, people having a little too much fun with this. But I feel like there are some people that take it really a little bit too seriously. Like the dude before this definitely was taking it seriously.
Can you imagine living in the plane of Polaria? It's like, nah, that's just Russia, dude. If you can talk bullshit when you're attractive, everyone will.
It's like, you might live on this planet. It's like, yeah, it's called like Wyoming during the winter. I mean, it's like, yeah, it's like I haven't seen that before.
Totally Polarian just so they can hope they can fuck you. True. These pictures may transport you to your past life. Wait, was this how you do it?
Wait, like, these will somehow transport you to the past life, too? Like, oh my fucking god. These people, like... the weird, like, insane shit that goes on with some of these people. Like, man, it's not really as good as they used to, because, like, they're not, like, the same conspiracy nuts, you know, as they used to. Now it's all being Gen Z'd up and having, like, all the weird astrology shit going on, and it's like, I don't want none of that bullshit. It's like, I just want, like, you know, I want some of the more nitty gritty details on that shit. Like, I wanted the nitty gritty. Give me details. Nitty gritty details. Because, like the idea of the whole Pisces or whatever, like, I wanted to kind of get more into that type of shit. Like, that's the stuff I want to see. Because, my god. I want to see how, like, far the rabbit hole goes. But there wasn't really that much. It was just a bunch of just, like, really frankly, just, like, somewhat decent looking art. But if it's like, oh, it somehow invokes you in your past life or Starseed shit, it's like, I kind of want to know where all the, you know, stemmed from. But I guess, you know, we'll probably be able to find something about it. Maybe I could find a video that actually could explain it. Let's see. Oh god. Oh, alright, I'm not going to watch it now, but I did find a video, so I can one day maybe check it out. Man. Ugh. Damn zoomies ruining my conspiracy nuts. My conspiracy nuttery. Boo. Ugh. But anywho, I think I'll get this little last bowl smoked up, cashed out, and call good from that. Cause anyway, Dios mío, I am definitely still feeling pooped. Got to get myself in more recovery mode. More so, just mainly for Tuesday, or not Tuesday, but Thursday. What am I saying? Fucking Tuesday. Tuesday's already today? Well, it's technically today. Anywho, I'll call it good for the rest of the night, so peace out, and I shall see y'all the next one, so